Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the DFW Coaches Clinic. Here with the head coach of the Mount Pleasant Tigers, Coach Joe Cluley, our good friend. Coach, how are you?
I'm great, man. Just living the dream every day out in East Texas. Can't beat it.
It's lots of trees, lots of water, lots of good football.
That's right.
A man can't ask for much more, right?
You cannot ask for more than fishing and football.
And you got the Canadian Kit Kats. Mrs. Cluley is going to be happy, right?
I hope so. I'm going to try not eat them all before I get home. But the plug came through. I have the package. I just got to make sure the package gets home.
Yeah. Well, we have evidence now. So if it doesn't get home, you've incriminated yourself, Coach.
I'm in big trouble.
You've incriminated yourself. All right, Coach. First, let's talk about the DFW Coaches Clinic a little bit. We call it mini coaching school because it's such a big clinic. There's so many great coaches, great speakers here. It's high school coaches only. You know, for you, what makes this clinic a must-stop every year?
Yeah, and I'll say this, I'm a lot closer now, but I also came here every year we were in Lubbock because this is the best clinic for high school coaches in the country. It's run by high school coaches. It's done by high school coaches, and you're getting to see things. Colleges get to recruit kids, and so sometimes schematically they get to recruit a specific kid for a specific position. Well, yes, South Lake Carroll and South Oak Cliff and people that we're listening to talk do have good players, but they're the kids that are coming through the programs, and it's just like what I have at Mount Pleasant. And so you're getting to see how they adapt their schemes each year to the different players, and that's what I love about this thing. Offensively, defensively, whatever you're wanting to watch, you're watching guys have to do it through the different kids they have every year, and every school has a good freshman or sophomore class and maybe not as good of a senior class, and they've got to adapt their scheme to it, and that's what I love about this clinic, not to mention that you get to see so many great coaches and meet so many guys that you haven't met and then make contact with the guys that you haven't been around in a long time.
And that's what I've been saying. You tell your young coaches all the time, right? When you come in here to a clinic, network, and learn, right?
Yep. We talk about dressing appropriately and dressing the right way, right? Dress that we don't want coaches to be taken not serious. We want to be taken serious. And then dress that when you meet that person that might give you that first head job, you look the right way, you talk the right way. And at this place, the DFW Clinic, you can absolutely make those connections.
All right, now let's talk about the Mount Pleasant Tigers a little bit. Last year, year or two in the program, you guys made some progress, didn't quite get that playoff spot. I know that was a sore spot for you, but you guys were knocking on the door, and there was progress made. How do you take that into the offseason and say, hey, guys, we're going in the right direction, the arrow is pointing in the right direction, but we still got work to do, we still got to do some things to get over the hump? Is that kind of your message to your kids when the offseason got going in January?
Absolutely. We ended up being what basically amounted to 2 yards away from making the playoffs, and it is what it is. That's the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes, and it didn't work out for us this year. But our kids have really come back kind of on a vengeance in offseason and looking at what we could have done and what we should have done and what we didn't accomplish and how close we were, I think is the driving force behind how well our offseason is going right now.
And obviously, every year you lose a good senior class. And I know you had a good group of seniors that really bought in. What's in the pipeline? How are your young guys coming along, and what are you excited about with some of those younger groups that are coming through the offseason program?
Yeah, I'd say with our senior group right now, we have some of the best leaders that I've been around here in Mount Pleasant that are coming through, that are juniors right now, that have taken ownership of the program. And then our sophomore, about to be junior class is as talented as any class I've been around. We have a DB that was just offered by North Texas, a defensive lineman that was offered by Texas State, and so a linebacker and a running back, and these kids that are really athletic and really bought into taking that next step. And then I think our freshman class that are about to be sophomores might be our most talented class that we've had. And so really excited about our future and kind of the steps that we can take with these guys.
All right, so you're saying Greg Powers is going to need to get to Titus County and go check out some Mount Pleasant Tiger recruits, right?
Greg needs to get out to Tiger Country and come check us out. Absolutely.
All right, now UIL realignment's coming up here in a few days. For you guys, we think you're going to stay East Texas, but the UIL could always throw you a curveball. How are you about realignment? Are you one of those guys who has all the different scenarios up on the board, or do you have a realignment guy on staff who does that? And then, how do you kind of prepare for those different scenarios?
Well, we've done a lot of, obviously, you do your own research, and of course you want you guys, logging into you guys' stuff and looking at.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks for the plug.
Absolutely,
it's the best projections out there.
That's it. There's no doubt.
Dr. Harrison, you got that?
And looking at the different publications and stuff like that and what they say. And, I think our most likely scenario is to stay where we're at, lose Pine Tree, where they're going to drop down, and Jacksonville's going to come up and kind of keep our district the same. We're going to be in Longview on February 1st, kind of figuring out if that's what it is. We definitely have some scenarios up on the board on what it could be. And the possibility of there's the chance that a couple of our preseason games could end up being district opponents if things go the way that we don't think they will. It could. And so we could be scrambling scrambling for a couple of games come February 1st. I think that's the biggest fear for me is you go in and you lose 2 games because you get in a district you're not supposed to be in, and all of a sudden you're scrambling and, you're
texting me saying, hey, who needs a week 2, right?
Absolutely. And you just don't, not that I don't want to end up with Duncanville week 1. And so that's
No offense to those guys or anything, right?
No offense to those guys. In fact, paying homage to those guys, I don't want to end up with Duncanville. So that's probably the fear part of it in terms of like the unknown. But I'm pretty confident that where we're going to end up. So we feel good about it, and we feel good about our pre-district schedule right now. So, I'm excited.
Final question for you. You're coming into the Metroplex. Always a lot of good places to eat. You're a foodie like myself. We like to eat. We're big guys. We want to get our grub on. Are you taking your coaches out to dinner? Where are you guys going to go?
We were actually just discussing that, and there's like 2 things of thought here. And, of course, you're on coaches, so this is how it goes. It's either we're going to go buffet, which is like low cost, low quality. For the most
high volume.
But high volume.
True.
Or we're going to go the high cost, high value, but low quantity. Sure. We're throwing things out there right now. We haven't made a decision yet. But
here's the pro tip: when you I've learned this when I'm with coaches, I always go for Mexican food. Here's why. Free chips and salsa.
I knew what you're going to say. Right, free chips and salsa you can't beat. You can look at me and tell I'm a Mexican food fan, so I'm all about it.
There you go. Coach, enjoy the rest of the clinic. Appreciate what you do for student-athletes in the state of Texas, and we'll see you down the road.
Sounds great, Matt. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Thanks.